The ballroom of the Grand Royal Business Club glittered with crystal chandeliers and billion-dollar egos. Champagne glasses clinked. Laughter echoed. Cameras flashed. At the center of it all stood Alexander Hale, the youngest self-made millionaire in the city. Cold, calculated, untouchable. His friends circled him like sharks. "Still single, Alex? Or are you too busy counting money?" Then one of them smirked. "Bring a date to tomorrow night's gala. But not one of your usual models." Another laughed. "Bring your secretary." The table exploded with laughter. They meant Emma. Quiet, plain, always in oversized cardigans. Hair tied back. No makeup. Invisible. Alexander didn't laugh. Instead, he leaned back in his chair. "You're on." The laughter stopped. "On. I'll bring Emma." The room roared again. They thought it was a joke. It wasn't. The next morning, Emma was organizing files when Alexander stepped into her office. "I need you tomorrow night," he said. She didn't look up. "For work. For a gala." Now she looked at him. "I don't attend those." "You will." She hesitated. "Why me?" He could have lied. But he didn't. "Because I made a bet." Silence. Her face didn't change. But something behind her eyes did. "I see," she said softly. He expected her to refuse. Instead, she said something that surprised him. "I'll go." The night of the gala arrived. The millionaires gathered again at the Grand Royal Business Club entrance. Where is she? Did she cancel? Maybe she realized mirrors exist. Then a black car pulled up. The door opened, and the room fell silent. Emma stepped out. Elegant, poised, radiant. Her hair flowed in soft waves. Her dress shimmered under the lights. Her confidence changed the air itself. But it wasn't just beauty. It was presence. She wasn't trying to impress anyone. She didn't need to. Alexander stepped out beside her. And for the first time in years, he felt nervous. The same men who laughed now couldn't speak. One whispered, "That's your secretary?" Emma turned toward them and smiled. "Good evening." Inside, the night shifted. Investors approached her. CEOs recognized her name. One older businessman froze. "Emma Laurent?" he asked carefully. "As in Laurent Holdings?" The room went still. Alexander looked at her. She finally answered. "Yes." Murmurs spread like wildfire. Laurent Holdings was one of the largest private investment firms in Europe. And Emma was the sole heir. She turned to Alexander. "You made a bet," she said calmly. "But you never asked who I was." He swallowed. "You're my secretary." She smiled slightly. "For now." Then she leaned closer. "And I only took this job because I wanted to know what kind of man you were when no one was watching." Silence. His friends avoided eye contact. For the first time, Alexander Hale felt small. After the gala, they stood alone outside. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "For the bet." She studied him. "You didn't bet on me," she said. "You underestimated me." He nodded. "And now," she gave him a soft, knowing look. "Now you decide whether I was just a bet, or the best decision you'll ever make." She stepped into the car and drove away, leaving the millionaire standing there, no longer the richest person in the room, because that night, he learned something money can't buy: respect. Alexander Hale had closed billion-dollar deals without blinking, but he couldn't sleep that night. The image of Emma stepping out of that car replayed in his mind. Not because of her beauty, but because of her control. By morning, headlines were already spreading across private investor circles. Laurent Holdings' heiress spotted at gala. He stared at the name again. Laurent Holdings. He had competed against them once. Lost. And never knew why. Now he did. The truth he didn't expect. Alexander didn't call her. He went to her office. But it was empty. Her desk was clean. No cardigan. No files. Just one envelope. Inside was a single card with an address and a handwritten note. "If you want to understand, come without your ego." No assistants. No bodyguards. No luxury car. Just him. The real test. The address led him not to a penthouse, but to a modest community center on the edge of the city. Inside, Emma stood in simple clothes, hair tied back again, teaching, helping young entrepreneurs learn basic finance. No cameras, no applause, just purpose. He watched silently as she guided a nervous teenager through a business plan. "You don't need connections," she said gently. "You need courage and clarity." When she finally noticed him, she didn't look surprised. "You came alone," she observed. "Yes." "Why?" He hesitated, then answered honestly. "Because I don't want to win a bet." She waited. "I want to earn a chance." The power shift. She stepped closer. "For months I worked beside you. You never mistreated me. But you never truly saw me either." Her voice wasn't angry. It was measured. "You judge quickly, Alexander. You decide people's value in seconds." He exhaled slowly. "I was wrong. And I don't want to be that man anymore." Silence stretched between them. Then she asked the question that mattered. "If I had arrived at that gala looking the same as always, would you still be standing here today?" The question hit harder than any business loss. He didn't answer immediately, because this time, he refused to lie. After a long pause, he said quietly, "I don't know." And for the first time, she smiled. "That," she said softly, "is the first honest thing you've ever given me." The final twist. Weeks passed. No headlines, no gossip, but something changed. Alexander began funding small business grants anonymously. He started showing up at the community center, not as a millionaire, as a mentor. One evening, Emma handed him a folder. Inside was a partnership proposal. Not romantic, professional. A joint venture between his company and Laurent Holdings, focused on ethical investments and startup incubation. "You wanted a chance," she said. "This is it." He looked at her. "And us?" She tilted her head slightly. "Build the man first," she replied. "The rest we'll see." He took her to a gala to win a bet. But she took him to reality and changed the man behind the millions. Because sometimes, the real glow-up isn't hers. It's his.